Okay, welcome. Let's take a look at the stock market. These are the S&P 500 futures, and we keep track of the futures rather than SPX and SPY because all the years I've been trading, guys and gals, the futures are just more accurate. That's just the truth. Time and time again, I've made a lot of money trading based on futures, the data instead of the SPX or the SPY. I'm not saying those other symbols are bad or anything. It's just futures tend to be a little bit more accurate. For my analysis. All right, we're looking at the weekly chart here. And look at this, guys, right up against the 24 week moving average, which is 44.11, right up against it, yeah? You can see the top of this candlestick here about 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks back is 44.30, right in that area. And we'll look at that in the daily here in a moment, but there's a whole lot of room above that. If it breaks out above this simple moving average, looks like it's trying real hard to do it, right? Looking like it wants to go up, right? If it gets above this 44.30 area, then there's a whole lot of room up in here, all the way up to, easily to 4,500. I mean, even the top of this candlestick is 45.14. And, if we kind of took an average right here, this would be like 45.30 across kind of these top three candlesticks. So there's not a whole lot between right where we're at now and all this up here. So if we get a breakout above that 44.30 area, like say it gets to 44.40, 44.45, it's going to go up all the way to 4,500. No problem. It's going to just break out and take off. So this is really a kind of a test right here to see if the market's going to break through that or not. Okay, right now, look, the market's course looks strong. Okay, November 26th, the week of November 26th is right there for that cycle low, and then January 14th is still there. I'm not going to change these cycles yet. They still look like they're pretty accurate. We'll see how these pan out over the weeks to come. Okay, let's look at the daily. All right, so here on the daily, you can see we had a 44 kind of, 44.10 number, but really this is the top number here, 44.30. That's it. You also saw on the weekly. That's the very top of this candlestick right here, okay? Now, there's a little bit here like kind of 44.20, but that 44.30 is kind of like the very last little barrier. And if it gets above that, then we're all the way up here. Way up here. Look at this stuff. There's also a little bit of something right there at about maybe 45.10-ish, somewhere up in this area. Yeah, 45.10. This one's 45.15. This one up here is 45.66. Okay, so if it breaks out above this line, there is a little something here that could slow it down. Also right there, but they're not huge resistance. But it doesn't really matter once we get up in this area. Above this area, if it gets above this area, I think 4,500 is going to happen pretty easily. So we'll continue to keep an eye on this. Right now, it hasn't done it. And you can see that the SMI is way up here at nearly 85. So this is really peaky, super peaky here. Okay. The MACD, though, is still negative territory. So see that right there, because the MACD is still just now getting to the zero line, right? This is negative down here. This is positive. And this thing's been beaten down so hard for so long that there's potentially a lot of room for this to come up, dip, and come up again. One of those deals. And that's a very common scenario. So I can see it coming up here, kind of hitting resistance, especially in the middle of this cycle, kind of drop down, and then, potentially on this little green cycle here, take off and really take off late into this cycle. Maybe it drops down to this area here, okay? Maybe it comes way out over here. That's out in January. So those are kind of things that I see common patterns. So I think if I had to just take a guess at this for kind of long term, yeah, maybe a little bit of resistance, a little pullback, then a good hard bounce, probably maybe all the way up to 4,500, maybe even a little higher. But we're not there yet, so I don't want to, we got to be a little bit careful. For the members, the hourly chart is, very much in flux, so don't take those cycles right now. Kind of take them with a grain of salt because we're really in a choppy time, and the hourly cycles are, they're not going to be very just not going to be very consistent until we kind of break through this kind of choppy time. So I'll keep an eye on the hourly chart and try to get the cycles as best as we can, but they're certainly not anywhere near as reliable as they were back in October. I mean, that was a month of making serious money. We're not in October anymore, guys and gals. This is a different time. And this massive run up, this massive profit here and here and here. Well, right now we don't have easy money. Right now it's a little bit choppy, a whole lot of choppy actually. Okay, there's still money to be made. Today was a nice little bit of money made on this candlestick, but it's definitely a little bit harder to squeeze money out of the market right now. All right. Also for the members, make sure you pay attention to the nightly email. So the universe indicators on there, and that thing so far has been really accurate. All right, you want to pay attention to that universe indicator because it's been forecasting what the market's going to do. It was as much as 4 or 5 days ahead of the market. Now, right now, I'm a little bit not exactly sure. I'm going to keep an eye on it, but the universe indicator's been pretty important lately. So you want to make sure you check out your emails because you're going to get the S&P 500 attached to that email. So if you're a member, you don't have an email. If you haven't given me the email on the email only channel on the Discord server, make sure you drop it in there and I'll pick it up. Okay, so that's what I think kind of going on with the daily. A lot of resistance going on right now. Anything above 44.30. If it gets up in this area, like gets above it, 44.40, 44.50, then watch out. I think it's going to go all the way to 4,500. But like I said, we're not there yet. This is looking very peaky right here at around 85. I think the market's going to run out of gas a little bit right here, get a dip, and then we'll see what it does after that. Okay, let's look at the trade of the day. All right, here we are on the 15-minute chart. Let me get this 15-minute chart. There we go. It's better. 15-minute chart, trade of the day. So last night started over here. See, now you know why I like futures. They're trading 23 hours out of the day. This is last night. Okay, at around 5 p.m. last night. See how there's a line right here? This is already trading for the next day. I'm doing this video like at 7:30 tonight here in Texas, somewhere around there, 7:30, 8 o'clock. Okay, so you can do trading at night too over here if you wanted to. Okay, but anyway, we're talking about the day that just ended. So it started right here and it ran all the way over to this line here. Okay, that's the day. This big rectangle is the day. Okay, so trade of the day, where is it? Well, it should be super obvious where the trade of the day is, right? On the 15-minute chart, there's only one trade of the day, and here it is. I mean, guys, gals, seriously, if you're watching this video, does this GITTIS Plus indicator, has it been nailing it or what? Absolutely nailed it. I mean, seriously. Okay, it's been like that. And there was quite a few trades of the day on the 5-minute chart too, but this 15-minute chart really shows it really well. And this happened about 7:30 pre-market, 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, about a half an hour before the market opened. Okay. And it's already elevated. The MACD starts going positive right here, right? I mean, anywhere in one of these, any one of these 2 or 3 candlesticks, you're making the entry and you're riding that thing all the way from 43, probably 85, pretty much all the way to 4,400. So a good 12 to 15 points right there. Pretty easy. It was just green candlesticks all the way up. When you get that first red candlestick, you get out. I mean, that's just a simple trade. It's so easy. Okay, let's look at the 5-minute chart real quick because there was definitely a bunch of trades on there as well. So there were a few opportunities. There was one really early this morning. So I encourage those people that can. I know some people are working, you got busy schedules, you can't just get up. But if you can get up early in the morning, sometimes trades are there. Look at this trade at 5:25 a.m. I mean, this was money. Okay, if not, there was another nice one at about 7:05. That's Texas time. So if you're East Coast New York, just add 1 hour to these times. If you're heading west, you're whatever, Arizona, California, whatever, then you got to take off an hour for Mountain Time, 2 hours for West Coast time. And of course, in your other parts of the world, just remember in Texas, all the times you're seeing here right now are Central Standard Time. So you do the conversion. Okay. But here we are. Okay, this trade right here. 5:30 this morning, 5:25. My goodness, what a beautiful trade. Right there, this thing starts to curl up. The GITTIS Plus indicator tells you that it thinks there's a trade coming. You get this curl up, and boom, it just starts going. All the way to pre-market. Look at this thing. It just kept going. That's from 5:30 all the way to what? About almost three hours, not quite. You know, you got some choices to make here when it stalls. Do you get out? I don't, you know, that's fine. You can get out. But even chipping away here through all of this, you know, I think there was probably, gosh, 10, 12 points worth of profit in here. Really, really nice. And then there was another one at a little after 7:05. This one right here was really nice also. And by then the MACD was already positive. That's very helpful. You got the MACD moving into positive territory. You get an indication like this. You can get into the trade. You know, this one right here is going to scare a lot of people out, obviously. But there was at least 5, 6, 7 points right in this area right here. Really nice. Okay, this is like, this thing is scare everybody out, and then the market opens up and blasts off. And we know the market's leaning slightly bullish right now, yeah? Even though it's up against resistance on that daily chart, we know it's slightly leaning bullish, right? Because we just had green day after green day after green day. Even though right now the last 2 days have been really small, until the market tells you otherwise, that the trend in the market right now is leaning a little bit bullish, right? Yes, it's smacking up against resistance in the daily. There may not be a whole lot of money in there, but there's still money in there. And the trading long is the preferred side to take rather than short. You follow what I mean? You got to be super careful because the market's chopping. But these are opportunities right here that you shouldn't be passing up. You have to have a combination of good entry, which is what this Get Us Plus indicator is all about. Okay, you need to know when to get out. Okay, you're going to have to, don't just, I see a lot of people hang on to trades too long. When you made your profit for the day, get out. That's it. You got to be disciplined. I have some members that are very disciplined members, and they do a great job. Every day they're putting $200 or $300 in their pocket. Every day. That's the truth. All right? They're just banking $200, $300 every day on these small retail accounts, and they're doing it using the service plus their own trading style, right? They're combining their own trading style with the service. I mean, you ask yourself, if you're making $200 a day, are you happy? I know a lot of people would be happy with $800 to $1,000 every week. All right, so just, you got to mix in good entries, know when to get out of the trade. Okay, the entries are this is really going to help you with the entries, obviously, to Get Us Plus indicator. Okay, when the market begins to stall, if you're a beginner in trading, just get out of the market. Don't worry about it. Don't try to go for the lotto. This ain't the lotto. Just take your profits and call it a day. Too many people, especially beginner traders, try to jump back and they lose all the money that they made for the day. That's just craziness. Don't do that. Okay. The other thing is you need to understand risk management. I don't talk about it a lot because most of my members understand this, but if you're watching the video, you need to know what risk management is. Okay, you need to have your stop losses in there, trailing stops. If you're trading options, you might need to have a counter type of option strategy to get you out of positions, right? So these are all things you need to contemplate as you're thinking about trading. Don't just jump into trades and hang on to positions forever, right? Okay, so to me, this is multiple opportunities for trades of the day, both on the 15-minute and the 5-minute chart there. Okay, if you want to become a member, I'm showing the Get Us Plus indicator on there. I'm talking about the hourly chart and the 15-minute chart and the 5-minute chart that the members get streamed live, right? They get that right down here, streamed live. You become a member, you get access to this stream. Okay, a lot of members, quite a few members in here every day, because that's where the Get Us Plus indicator is, on the streaming charts. All right. Also, the universe indicator I talked about at the beginning of the video. And you heard me talk about members, make sure you check your nightly email. Okay, they get the nightly email. So if you want all that, okay, become a member. The link is in the description below this video. Just make sure you read that description carefully so you don't have any problems joining. It's going to bring you over to the Get Us server. You're going to click on Server Shop. You're going to get this page right here, $7.99 a month. I mean, it's just crazy value. I haven't raised the price. I raised it once, like in probably 3 years. Okay, $7.99. That's it. I mean, you got members making $200 or $300 a day. They don't even think about the membership, because the service is easily paying for the membership. They don't even think about it. All right. In addition to what we saw on the trades of the day and the streaming charts, also realize those Get Us Plus alerts that we just showed, that I just showed on the trade of the day, they get sent over here as alerts to the S&P 500 alerts channel. Okay, so in this channel, you get the 5-minute alerts, 15-minute alerts, and the 1-hour chart alerts all coming in this channel. Okay, and they're just right-clicking on this, and then it'll say notification. Members click notify me, and they get notified. Okay. And the same thing's happening for gold, crude oil, and the top 30 stocks for the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. I talked about the nightly email. Well, just drop your email in there, and you'll get the nightly email. All right. And there's some chat. A lot of the chat happens kind of in these two channels here, member chat and S&P 500. Okay. There's some other channels in here as well that occasionally get some, if I'm trading fixed income corporate bonds, or if I'm doing some currency futures trading, then I'll put some stuff in there occasionally. Okay. So all these channels, the streaming chart channel, all this, the alert channels, all that is paid members only. Okay. So if you pay the $7.99, you get all this. This is the only channel that the general public gets access to. And there's really nothing in there. If you want to ask a question or something, you could. If you're a member, don't use the general channel. Just use the member chat channel. If you're not a member, you have a question, drop in the general channel. I'll try to pick it up. But basically, $7.99 a month, guys. Super dirt cheap. Great service for a great value and very inexpensive. Okay. All right. That's it. Happy trading, everybody. God bless everybody. Talk to you all real soon again next time.